All right, guys. As you can tell by the length of this video, I have a lot to say, and let's just get to it. So the real reasons Kamala Harris lost to Donald Trump last night, um, it's very simple, and it can all be placed on the shoulders of one person. One person is most to blame. I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around, but there's one person who's at the top of that mountain, and that is ultimately Joe Biden. Uh, it's inexplicable. It's unbelievable that he chose to stay in this race as long as he did, and that he tried to fight the party basically and say, no, 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 I got this. I'm gonna win. I'm definitely gonna win. I have a chance. Not even I have a chance. He thought he was gonna win. He thought he was the only person that could beat Trump, as if he's some uniquely gifted politician at his ripe young age of 82. So this mentality he had the whole time that I'm going to go into this election, I'm going to handily beat Trump. I mean, what evidence was there of that? The last time he won, because COVID happened. If COVID didn't happen, 10, 20, 30,000 votes go a different way in three, four states, and he loses. Like, okay, he won the popular vote, sure. California, New York helps a lot with that. But winning the popular vote by 7 million when you almost lost the electoral college again after Hillary lost the popular vote. I mean, after Hillary won the popular vote and lost the electoral college, would have been a massive failure. And he had no ground game. He had no campaign to speak of. I know there's some excuses like COVID happened, and a lot of people were worried about that. But it's there's no one can tell me Biden's uniquely suited to beat Trump and that, for example, he would do better than Obama would against Trump, Barack or Michelle for that matter. So that's the first and foremost point. The party needs to move on, obviously, and we need to find someone new, and it's going to take 3, 4 years to do that. And I hope there's a primary process this time to actually vet our candidate and make sure it's the strongest person to go up against a general election. Because without the primary, we saw what happened in 2020. Kamala Harris ran for president for the primary in the Democratic Party, and she didn't even get to Iowa. She didn't get any votes because she couldn't make it to Iowa. She raised a bunch of money, spent it, uh, got nothing to show for it. No votes, no electoral, no, no votes. I mean, it's unbelievable. So they chose this person not only to be VP, but Biden said, no, I'm not going to let the party take this away from me. I'm going to name my successor. And he chose Kamala Harris. Fair enough. It's your vice president. You have that right because the party gave way to you to enable you to be able to make that choice by not telling you to step down before the primary season could have happened. And there could have been an open primary. Do you know why they did this? I'll tell you why. Bernie Sanders was teasing, he was releasing a book. He was teasing that he was going to run again if Biden stepped down because he knew there weren't many stronger candidates than him and that he would really have a chance this time. So Biden, hearing that, saying, "Oh, Bernie's gonna run if I drop out. I better stay in until it's too late to do a primary, then hand it off to Harris, and then if we lose, we lose. God bless." I think, but ultimately dropping out wasn't even Biden's choice, I don't think. I think they forced him out. I think that Trump is right about that. They did force him out. They made the right decision because Biden would have gotten destroyed. But, anyways, next point. Um, the candidate obviously not strong enough, not well equipped enough to handle the moment of she did well at the debate, but that wasn't enough ultimately. People She could not decouple herself from an unpopular sitting president. She couldn't say on the issue of Gaza, I'm going to be different. I'm going to try to find peace. I'm going to try to get the hostages back. I'm going to try to negotiate a two-state solution. I'm going to make, and she, no criticisms of Netanyahu, no criticisms of Israel, nothing to speak of, and incompetent, incoherent strategy and incoherent messaging is ultimately what brought the Democrats down another level. Because, you know, Biden was losing by 5, 6, 7 points nationally. It would have been a bloodbath if he went to the general election this time. because he wasn't popular. He was losing in the polls. He probably wasn't going to raise a lot of money. Everything was bad for him. So she hands off to Kamala. She does the best. She tries to do her best to her ability, which is her ability is not good enough to be frank, as we saw in her interviews and other extemporaneous conversations. And so, uh, this incoherent strategy of saying, yeah, I'm actually a little bit progressive and I want to, make Medicare expansion for home care for elders, which is a big expense. And to be able to achieve that would require votes in the Senate, votes in the House, Supreme Court not shooting it down, etc. Anyways, good policy. I agree with it. It's a good idea. But that coupled with, oh, I'm going to come out to a campaign rally with Liz Cheney and tout the endorsement of Dick Cheney and say they're great civil servants and that they served this country well and that they did good things for this country. Are you kidding me? Like, what are you talking about? These are people that even Republicans hate at this point. Trump openly made it a thing to campaign against the Bushes and the Cheney family. And because of that, Liz Cheney lost her seat in the most lopsided congressional race 2 or 4 years ago. I forget right now. And uh, Dick Cheney's also unpopular because of the Iraq War, because of his dealings, because of what he did on policy grounds for the country and what messes he caused for the country. Anyways, this is becoming a bit of a rant. There's a few more points. Incoherent strategy, another point on this. So, on the one hand, we're the party of Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney. We're accepting endorsements from these warmongers and people who never met a war they didn't like. We're the party trying to court Republican voters. So, like, oh, well, Republicans, you're at home here. We're also Republicans. That's basically what you're saying. So, you're not energizing your base. You're saying to Republicans, we're basically the same as, a moderate Republican was 8 years ago before Trump, 10 years ago, whatever, or whatever a moderate Republican would be now, like a Mitt Romney type, someone who, ran the party uh, um, 12 years ago. And on the other hand, you're trying to say, I'm different than Biden, but without any clear reason or explanation as to how you're different. I think in an interview, Kamala Harris actually said, when asked, "How are you different from Joe Biden?" She said, "Well, I'm not Joe Biden. That's first of all. I'm not Joe Biden." That was her answer. So, as if it wasn't clear that she wasn't Joe Biden from her, from looking at her or knowing her name. Anyways, so my hope is if you watch this video, if you're a Democrat, if you're a liberal, if you're a progressive, if you're a socialist, if you're a leftist, if you're a whatever position you have, even if you're a moderate Republican, if you're a moderate conservative who doesn't like Trump, you will see the failures and the faults of the Democratic Party from within and try to challenge that structure and say, we're not taking this anymore. We're not going to run this shit again in 4 years. Like we're not trying the same playbook again and again to try to see if we can get a different result. Okay, every 4 years we're going to run another moderate centrist or even center right person in the party and say, "Oh, Republicans, you're at home here. Come on, that you don't like that guy." Yes, they do. They do love that guy. He got 95% of their votes. Okay, you courted Republicans, you courted moderate Republicans, Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney types. Your vote percentage among Republican registered voters went down 1%, and your vote among Democrats stayed the same. It didn't Neither went up. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like what is the goal? What is the end goal? Is it, oh, let's just cut Bernie off and if we lose, we lose, as long as Bernie doesn't win. That seems to be the mentality. If as long as someone like Bernie doesn't win, if we lose, at least we gave it our best. At least we gave it our best shot. At least we tried. So once the votes are counted, I think Trump is going to end up with more votes than he had 4 years ago. And people were shocked at how high his vote tally was 4 years ago. Okay? He only lost because of COVID last time. Biden would have gotten demolished, draxed, okay, if COVID didn't happen and Trump didn't mishandle COVID. I'm not defending Trump. I'm not saying he's a great candidate. He's not a uniquely gifted politician. He's not uniquely amazing at what he does. The other side is just so incompetent and inept, and they have no power. They have no strength. They don't show strength. They don't show any sort of resistance. Okay. Anyways, if you like this content, if you want more of it, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, share on Twitter, wherever you share social media links. Um, I'm trying to do this more frequently. I have an election prediction up from before the election. I actually thought Trump was going to win. I think I was one of the rare people um, who didn't want Trump to win, who thought he was going to win anyways. Um, yeah, if you like this content, please like, share, subscribe. It would be a big help. It would be helpful to me. And if you like this content, come back for more. I'll definitely keep posting stuff. All right. See you in the next one.